Dr. Ulloa, I want to move on and talk about our trade relations. China is still El Salvador's second largest import origin. Every 1 in 6 items the Salvadorans bought was actually from China. Even amidst the pandemic in 2021, bilateral trade exceeded $1.7 billion. That is an increase of 56%. Actually, your country's goods are pretty popular in China, I can say for a fact. For example, the Salvadoran coffee, which is available in many cafes, including a cafe downstairs where I live here in Beijing, China. Going forward, how do you hope bilateral trade can move to the higher level?
Well, thank you for remarking the quality of our coffee. We are aware that we produce one of the best coffees in the world, not by the amount, because the quality. So, and this is one of the 3 main products that we export to China. So the idea is to increase the level of our exports because in addition to coffee, we also export to China the sugar from the sugar cane. With the commercial institution, the Chamber of Commerce from China, Chamber of Commerce of El Salvador, our new ambassador appointed in China is playing a good role trying to make this interchange between the private sector of El Salvador, private sector of China, and taking the government inside in order to facilitate in the legal frameworks, in the tax issues, all the operation that could give more a boost of this commercial interchange and the international trade.
Since the establishment of diplomatic ties between China and El Salvador, the 2 sides have made historic breakthroughs in exchanges and cooperation in various fields. In November 2018, the 2 countries signed 13 cooperation agreements, including the MOU on the Belt and Road Initiative. At the end of 2019, El Salvador President Nayib Bukele paid a visit to China, during which the 2 sides signed several framework agreements furthering bilateral pragmatic cooperation. On the last day of 2021, President Bukele announced on multiple social platforms that El Salvador will cooperate with China to build a new national stadium. As he wrote, "This is a collaboration granted directly by President Xi and a sign of the friendship between the peoples of China and El Salvador." Netizens from other Latin American countries also applauded the project. Salvadoran brothers and sisters, you are not so small anymore. You are now giants in development and in many more things. A big hug from Colombia. This is an example to follow for the rest of Latin America in terms of the modern way of doing politics. Blessings and greetings from Costa Rica. This stadium is beautiful. It will be one of the most spectacular in all of the Americas. Greetings from Mexico.
And also, as I understand, China is also working with your country in a number of infrastructure projects, a library, a soccer stadium, among other things. How are they going, Mr. Vice President?
Well, so far, so good. But in addition, other project that deals with some treatment for waters in one of our more emblematic project, which is developing the tourism. So that means that in the beaches, in the areas, that's the tourism is being attracting because we have the best spot for surfing. Actually, we have been a host for international championship of surf. But the problem of the treatment of waters to go to the beaches is one of our main challenges. China has been in agreement to support us and bringing us all the plans for doing the proper treatment. So we appreciate that. We thank the government and the China people for this support, and it will give us, with no doubt, an input and a boost to our economic development.